Breaking up with my girlfriend of 3.5 years right before I go to Alaska for work. I, 23 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 23 female, for almost 4 years. Our relationship overall has been great, but we do argue frequently and I never get excited to talk to her or about our relationship anymore. It's been multiple years that I've get this way, but I've held on to the relationship because I enjoy being with her, partially because it's easy. She told me a few months ago she wanted me to marry her. I don't feel the same way, at least not yet, but I feel like after 3.5 years in a relationship I should have an idea if she's the one for me. Since I don't, I feel like that makes me lean towards no, she's not. I just drove up to Alaska alone for a several-month job in which I will have no service to contact her. I had a lot of time to think during the drive and I think I should break up with her. I think I need to stop holding myself back in fear of not finding anyone else and hurting her so bad. I want to break up with her before I go into the field in 2 weeks so she's not waiting for me to come back and so I have time to heal in the woods. I have to do it over FaceTime though. It's so hard to say goodbye forever to someone that you've cared about for so long. Too long did not read. I think I need to break up with my girlfriend of 3.5 years who deeply loves me before I go on a life-changing experience for 3 months because I've been thinking the relationship's not right for me for years. Dude, you're 23. Don't tie yourself to someone that doesn't light a spark for you. Life is a lot shorter than we all realize. Go live and enjoy it while you can. Edit. Thanks for the award. There's no right way to break up in my opinion. But I think everyone should do it the moment they're sure it's the right thing to do. Good luck to both of you. I don't know if it's true, but from what I hear about months-long contract work in Alaska, you're gonna find plenty of fish out there. And I mean that literally. Not a lot of women your age in those sorts of areas. Don't string people along after you have decided they are not the one. They don't deserve to have too much time wasted waiting for you. Just do it now since you know you don't want this. It's been multiple years that I've get this way, but I've held on to this relationship because I enjoy being with her, partially because it's easy. Never do this to someone again. It's a very shitty thing to do. You wasted years of her life because you didn't want to be alone. Yes, that's what that statement implies. If you're not feeling someone, talk to them and then go from there. Don't string people along. I think you should just cut the cord. It will be better in person, but since that's not possible, yeah, you should FaceTime her. You may not find anyone while you're on your contract and that's fine. It's healthy to be alone for a while. You'll find someone else in time. Why jump from one thing that's no longer working to another? It sounds from what you've said that you're not really that into this relationship anymore, and that's fine. You got together young and you're still both young. I think your instinct to break up is the right one, and it's better for you both to do so since neither of you deserves to be married to someone when there isn't strong love on both sides. FaceTime is okay as a breakup tool, since you're already physically apart. Text would be the asshole move. Good luck, op. Don't stay in a relationship that you know isn't what you want forever. It's not fair to anyone and you need to go live your life. Have fun, enjoy yourself, explore who you are and what you want in life. Some people do know that at 23, but for a lot of us it changes considerably. If you have doubt or are not fully happy, it is best to break up. I had a similar situation, though my ex seems to have been more cruddy, and didn't actually feel much relief until like 6 months post-breakup. It gets worse before it gets better, but it will get better. If it's meant to be, it will. But you are so young and need to explore and still find yourself. I know the conversation will be so difficult, but I hope it goes as well as it can. She deserves better than a FaceTime. 2 things might happen. You'll feel bad, then not have access to a phone and drive yourself crazy about wanting to call her. Or, it will be a perfect breakup for you. She will be pissed but you gone and won't have to deal with the drama. Go for it or don't. You're 23 anyways, why get married so young? Go live life. Sounds like a good step for you to figure out what you want in life. There's no way to remove hurt from it. Be as kind as you can and don't lead her on, even if that seems easier in the moment. My only advice is to offer her a face-to-face conversation about it when you return. Have you tried telling her you feel this way? Like talked about why you guys argue, why you don't feel the excitement, etc., or do you just want to move on and aren't being honest with yourself about how you feel? You might be throwing away a relationship that just needs a few tweaks and leads to regret. Or you might open some wounds between you both and amicably part ways. Or emotions flare and things go horribly and that confirms your idea to move on. Either way, talking it out is what I advise. Stop stringing her along and using her. Break up with her. Break up with her face to face. Doing it by FaceTime is cheap and people who do that shit are cowards. If you aren't 100% sure about her being your future wife, it's time to end the relationship. It's not going to be easy, but you both deserve better. After about a year and a half you should normally have a good idea. It takes a lot of courage to be honest. I'd tell her exactly what you told us and rest assured your honesty will be appreciated eventually. Be as kind as you can, but direct and unequivocal. And just do it. Thank her for your years together, but be plain that the relationship has run its course and you wish her every happiness in her future. I also broke up with a boyfriend after moving, remotely because the alternative was breaking up with him right after he would have flown here to visit me. It was really sad and I think hard for both of us. But in our case, we had been arguing a lot about whether he'd move to the new location with me, he was avoiding discussing it and ultimately I moved alone. Once I moved it really solidified my decision and gave me more perspective on it. So I think this stuff can happen, and while breaking up on FaceTime isn't ideal, you have to weigh that versus continuing a false relationship for weeks sometimes. You will change a lot in the next few years no matter where you go. There are exceptions, but I don't think anyone should settle into any long-term relationship until they are in their 30s. You're still developing in your 20s and have a lot to learn about being an adult. Do it in person. My ex at 23 was the love of my life. But he told me he wanted to be a man about it and not risk the chance of ever hurting me down the road because of his unhappiness. I was crushed for 2-3 years, then met the man that was made for me. You don't see the blessings in things until far later. As young as you guys both are, it is not and will not be the end. He did me the greatest service by telling me. At the time I was pissed but later realized how brave someone has to be to face something so terrible and scary alone. Good luck, man. You've already left this too long and any way you do this now is going to be cruel. The best thing you can do is do it now, recognize you handled this in a shitty way and do anything you can to make it easy on her, and let her get started on getting over you. Well, it doesn't have to be goodbye forever. You can remain friends or even get back together eventually. It will hurt her but you wouldn't be doing her a favor staying with her. Just as you deserve someone you're completely sure about, she deserves someone that is completely sure about her. It will hurt her but we all go through heartbreak and it's not like you're leaving her for another woman, or leaving her with kids and going MIA for child support. She will get through it and so will you. Lol, you're going to see things differently after a while in Alaska. As someone who's been on the opposite end of this in a 7-year relationship where my ex was madly in love, fell out of love with me around 5-ish years, then cheated on me, let her go. No matter how hard it feels, it will be better for both of you in the long run. Being married is a huge step and commitment. You're both so young and have a lot of life left to live. Most people change a lot from the age of 20-30, so you might not be the same people or want the same things when you're closer to an age where you're finally the person you'll be. Best to go out and live your dreams till you find the person you want to spend your life with. You should absolutely break up. Being with someone purely out of convenience is cruel and ends with both people being miserable. Go heal in the woods and let her be free to date someone else. Do not do it over FaceTime. You owe her a face-to-face convo. After 3.5 years of relationship you break up with her from another city, state by phone. Wow, just wow. I guess that's what she deserves for loving you and wanting to marry with you. Good riddance, as you already wasted a lot of her time already. For further relationships, keep in mind there is work to be put on and relationships are not flowers gazing under the beautiful sun. These days people are so ready and easy to throw away a human that loves them then work through hard times. One swipe away and hey, look, another one. Honestly, as long as you two don't live together and you don't have belongs at her place that you want, then go for it. If there is stuff, then maybe ask her to send them to your work site, and reimburse her for the cost. Have a buddy to pick them up, or accept that they'll be lost. But all in all, if you're unhappy and can make a clean break, then do it. You're both too young to be ties down in an unhappy relationship. Wise been my experience that breaking up with someone is best done very directly and even a tiny bit harsh. The reason for that is, it cuts off the hope that you'll change your mind. I'll always care about you. Maybe we can be friends someday. But I won't consider being in a relationship with you like this again. That's what I found successful. It's the cruel lingering hope that keeps people from moving on. You take away the hope, it hurts at first, but it doesn't hurt as long. Like ripping off a bandage. It's kinder in the long run. Do not be surprised that when you are ready, in the future, that she is locked down in the future. You stuck with her because you know how great she is. You're being an adult now by saying you need to break up with her. But you need to remember to completely sever the link that you have with her and let her move on. You want to go and explore life and see what's out there and essentially grow up and see if there's something better, but if not, then of course you wouldn't mind coming back to her. You know how awful that sounds. You would be open to having something with her in the future after you go, so you're wild oats. Yeah, good girls don't stick around and she will find a good guy who will cherish her. I would go ahead with it. Based on your post, you've really been leaning this way for a while. It will be hard in the short term, but best in the long term. When you know you want to marry someone you know. If the fire isn't there, I wouldn't try to force it. You know what's right, and the fact you're even thinking about it proves it more. You're young. She deserves to be with someone who is wildly in love with her and excited about the idea of spending the rest of their lives with her. You deserve to be with someone who makes you happy and excited to be with them. Learning what you want, and don't want, in a relationship is a part of getting older and becoming more mature. Most people don't end up with the person they dated in their early 20s and are thankful for it. The breakup will be hard, but it sounds like you're making the right decision. I support you. Hi op, I hope you both get over it and heal on your own ways. I saw your post that you were very unsure about your relationship with her more than 2 years ago. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask what made you continue it. I ask it because I'd like to use your experience for my relationship and I think it will help me a lot. Thanks a lot, and if you don't feel comfortable to answer it, please just ignore that. Cheers. I'm from Alaska. Break up. Enjoy the peace and quiet. You sound like you got all the reasons down, but what about your exit? Shared living space. Shared keys maybe, all go hand in hand with your partner's mental health when you asked if a decision like this should be done on FaceTime. 3.5 years to me, deserves some real FaceTime. Unless, that is not a safe option. I honestly feel for her, but I understand your side, and either way it's a double-ended sword, so you might as well get it over and done with. You will hurt her either way. I've been going to work in AK for the past 10 years and having a relationship is tough, on both parties. Where are you working? I'm a guide. At least you're not breaking up with her during sex. I would have taken a FaceTime call over that experience any day, and we were together for 6 years 10 mallions. 8 months later still heartbroken, but definitely do what you need to do to be happy. At least my ex is happy, and that's all I would want for him. Hopefully she will be as mindful if she loves you. Break up. Think about it like this, you'd be doing her a favor too. With decisions like these, think about the future, not the current you. I'm proud of you for coming to this conclusion and wish you all the best in the next chapter of your life. Red heart, red heart, red heart. Just cut her loose and start playing the field. You've got 7 prime years left to chase high-quality tail. Clubs, festivals, vacations, come on.